On the 20th of February 2017, the Sacramento Kings traded their all-star center DeMarcus Cousins to the New Orleans Pelicans for Buddy Hield, Tyreek Evans, Langston Galloway and a future first and second round pick, which resulted in not much for Sacramento. Not that Boogie actually knew about it. He had to be told live at a press conference at All-Star Weekend, which was also in New Orleans, so he didn't have to travel too far. But so started a sequence of events that's actually had a massive implication on the last two NBA championships.
Is that a trick question? This man was a bona fide scrub. Bona fide scrub.
This dude, I believe he's a bona fide superstar right now.
Right. Oh, well, of course, it's all about winning, baby.
Yeah.
Following the trade, Cousins plays the last 17 games of the 16-17 regular season, with the Pelicans putting up pretty good numbers of 24.4 points, 12.5 rebounds, and 3.9 assists per game. But in a loaded Western Conference, the Pelicans failed to make the playoffs. Going into the 17-18 season, there's plenty of optimism around the franchise, armed with the superstar frontcourt duo of Cousins and Anthony Davis, as well as the backcourt duo of Drew Holiday and the recently acquired Rajon Rondo in free agency. The Pels get off to a pretty good start in the regular season, and Boogie himself is in career best form, including a massive game against the Chicago Bulls where he puts up 44 points, 24 rebounds, and 10 assists. And I think some of us forget how good prime DeMarcus Cousins was in this period. He was probably the best center in the NBA. Of course, we're talking in the early days of now superstars Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid. But after 48 games, the Pelicans are 27-21, and Cousins has put up averages of 25.2 points, 12.9 rebounds, 5.4 assists, 1.6 blocks, and 1.6 steals. But in that 48th game, on the 26th of January 2018, Cousins sustains a torn Achilles in literally the last 15 seconds of the game as he goes for an offensive rebound on his own missed free throw, and it requires season-ending surgery. Following the Cousins injury, the Pelicans actually fare quite well. They replace Boogie by trading for Bulls power forward Nikola Mirotic. Remember him. They end the regular season with a 48-34 record, good enough for 6th in the Western Conference, and in the first round of the playoffs, they come up against Dame, CJ, and the third-seeded Portland Trail Blazers. Now, in what is quite an incredible series, the Pelicans just wipe the Blazers off the floor and sweep them 4-0 thanks to 30-point games across the series from Davis, Drew Holiday, and Nikola Mirotic, as well as 53 assists from Rondo across the 4 games. In the second round, they faced the eventual champion Golden State Warriors, and whilst they went down 4-1, they were competitive at times, and there's no harm, really, in losing to the eventual champions that have the likes of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, and Draymond Green. Following the season, Cousins enters free agency, and the combination of his injury and a controversial locker room presence means the Pelicans have no real interest in re-signing him, and they're not alone. There's a remarkable lack of interest given Cousins' talent and the caliber of player he is. Running out of options, he calls Warriors general manager Bob Myers, and a couple of days later it's revealed that Cousins has signed a $5.3 million mid-level exception deal with the reigning champs, a move that frustrates and angers a lot of fans. It's at this point that I want to rewind and go back to the what if Cousins didn't get injured on the 26th of January 2018, literally in that last 15 seconds against the Rockets. Now, for the remainder of the season, the same thing probably would have happened. They would have ended up with a similar record. They probably would have wiped the Blazers still in that first round, and they probably still would have lost to the Warriors in the second round, even though a Cousins and Davis frontcourt duo would have been fun to watch against an elite defender, yet undersized in Draymond Green, and the likes of Zaza Pachulia and JaVale McGee. Now, following that season and entering free agency, a healthy Cousins probably would have attracted a max contract extension from the Pelicans, and with him, Davis, and Holiday, there's a fair chance that they might have actually attracted some reasonable free agents, or at least been able to re-sign Rondo. There's no doubt this combination would have been a whole lot better than the real 18-19 Pelicans roster, which had Davis, Holiday, and a bunch of not too much. Now, seeing the lack of help next to him, and just over 12 months since Cousins' injury, Davis requests a trade away from the Pelicans, a wish that's eventually granted in the off-season when he was traded to the Los Angeles Lakers in that now famous trade that sent Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, and draft capital to the Pelicans. Now, my question for you guys is, with a prime DeMarcus Cousins, potentially Rondo and some other better free agents, does Davis actually request that trade in the first place? My answer is no, and then that doubles into, would the Lakers have won the 1920 championship without Davis? Well, that's an unequivocal no for mine. Fast forward to this last season, the 2020-21 NBA season, and with a prime Davis and prime Cousins still at the helm, the Pelicans are trying to contend in the Western Conference. And with this in mind, they don't need to trade Drew Holiday to the Milwaukee Bucks, which was really a rebuilding move for them. Now, would the Bucks have won the championship without Drew? Maybe, but there's no doubt that some of his massive plays deep in their finals run was a major reason why they were eventually able to secure the NBA championship. Thanks for watching, guys. I know the NBA is made up of thousands upon thousands of what-ifs and hypotheticals, and that this is just another one of them, but it's absolutely crazy to look back at the DeMarcus Cousins torn Achilles and see how it not only impacted his own game, and we know how his career's panned out since then, but also the careers of his former teammates in Davis and Holiday, who have gone on to become NBA champions with other franchises. If you like what you watch, guys, please subscribe and follow us across all our social media channels. See you in the next video.